around the globe are working longer hours than ever before. That's according to new research from the consulting firm Ernst & Young. Researchers surveyed thousands of full-time managers in 8 different countries and found nearly half work more than 40 hours per week. In America, that number is much higher. Some 58% say they work longer hours. The only country where people say they work more than that was Mexico at 61%. Compare that to China, where only about 20% of the workforce says that they put in an average or more than an average 9-to-5 week. Researchers partly blame the increased hours on the cost of living going up with their pay, which remained flat. So you're working harder and making less money, technically. Nicole Lapin joins us now. She's the author giving us a 12-step plan for getting our financial lives together. Nicole, always good to see you.
Always great to see you, Harris. Thanks.
All right, so is this work-o-rama track that we're on, is this kind of a post-Great Recession type thing that's happening?
I think this trend is actually going to continue, because if you look at the folks that were surveyed for this study, they actually said that in the last 5 years, they worked even more. So this trend looks like it's going to continue. And also younger folks, millennials, are saying that they are working harder than ever before. So if you dig into these numbers and you try to find this holy grail of work-life balance, the millennials are actually the ones that are struggling the most with it. And more millennials than boomers actually have 2 folks in a couple working full-time.
Wow.
More than double of baby boomers.
I'm going to try not to be insulted by that. Are you telling me that I have the holy grail? Because, I mean, I'm a working mom. I work 6 days a week.
And you like it.
All moms are working. I just happen to be working outside the home. But I don't think I've reached some sort of holy grail. I think I'm married well, and my grandmas are good.
Well, I think it's about really embracing the blurred lines. Thank you, Robin Thicke. And I think younger folks more so than ever before now that we're tethered to smartphones and we're always connected to work 6 days a week like you, or 7 days a week in some cases. You know, I think it's really about saying that work and play, I don't know about healthy, but I think it's about realizing that there is a little bit of flexibility, and let's not be so hard on ourselves and silo each of them so hardcore.
You know, I looked at some of the U.S. Labor Department statistics, and we have just plain created a lot more part-time jobs than we have full-time jobs at a faster pace in this country since the Great Recession. So it kind of makes sense to me that if you are blessed enough to get a job, you're going to work your patootie off to keep it. And you're probably going to have to work a couple of jobs to equal maybe what you had before the recession.
You are going to work your patootie off, but I think a lot more folks also want more flexibility. So it's not necessarily more time off, but more flexible work hours, let's say getting out early on Friday, working from home. Folks that were studied here say that only 10% were actually demoted or had a negative ramification because they asked for more flexibility. But I think it would behoove companies more so to try and throw a flexibility bone to their employees to try and keep them happy.
Nicole, you're so nice, but I want to like be mean to you right now because it sounds ridiculous to me. I mean, if we're fortunate enough to have a job, why not work as many hours? I mean, if you can figure out how to make it work for you. I don't know. I don't know that I hear you kind of prescribing something different for people who are working hard.
I think a lot more folks now are also working for themselves. So I think it's to each his own or her own, what that balance actually is. You know, that balance we have to make for ourselves. There is no, hard line as to what is work and play. And I think a lot of times you can take your kids to work events and that is work, but that's also family time. So again, Robin Thicke, embrace the blurred lines. There was this whole idea of this 4-hour work week that came out in 2007, and this whole idea died down a little bit more so recently. But I think it's about being more productive than busy, actually. So if we can embrace the productivity versus just the hours that we're clocking in, that's probably where it's going to be at.
Blurred lines. Wasn't he sued over the rights to that song?
Details.
Anyway, Nicole, good to see you.
Great to see you, Harris. Thanks.